Now, a lot of businesses are feeling the pinch at the moment, but one industry continues to prosper. In fact, it's undergoing something of a boom. Its former seedy image appears to have had a makeover, and a growing number of people are putting their bodies on the line. I'm talking about tattooing.
Tattooing has boomed and busted several times over my career, but this is incredible what's happening now. It is in massive boom.
Tattoos seem to sort of filter into, all walks of life.
I don't think it'll ever die off. I think people will just get more, wanting to beautify themselves a lot more, adorn themselves a lot more,
Tattoos is wearing your heart on your sleeve.
If you think you're seeing a lot more ink on skin these days, you're right. Despite the gloomy economic times, the pain is seemingly manageable for the tattoo industry.
I'm pretty bad in it.
The negative image has all but disappeared from tattooing.
With the acceptance has come a new look industry, with more people recognising it as a legitimate art form.
It's not just a bikie thing, it's not just something you do if you're an outlaw or a rebel, people are doing it as an expression of themselves and as, remembrance, and they hold a lot of meaning and significance to people, and, it's helping everyone understand that and accept that, it's okay to have tattoos.
A lot of females are more recognised for getting tattoos now, not only teachers, lawyers, things like that. You get people from the taxation department, people from everywhere that come in and wouldn't even think that they'd even think about getting a tattoo.
Anthropologist Wayne Glendenning is one such white-collar convert. His sleeves now tell a very different story.
At first I was a bit freaked out because it's a rather daring sort of thing to do, particularly for me, who was a person who didn't even want tattoos. I think most people like it. I think my father hated it. He just thought I was a maniac, and he's 76 or 75, so he's of a different era. But, and we had a bit of an argument. I couldn't believe it because I'm nearly 50 and I'm arguing with my father about my tattoos. But apart from that, my ex-wife doesn't like them. My daughter wants me to cover them up, but my sons love it, and most of my mates think it's brilliant.
My mum wasn't happy this morning when I told her.
Approval from some will always be an issue, but it still doesn't stop those, from tourists to first-timers, to think ink.
It means something to me from my heritage, so I like the meaning of it means life. And I just like the little design with it. It makes it a bit more soft and girly.
Most of the people I met, they get tattoos, yeah. And they want to have like a memory from their travelling, so they've done it like that, yeah.
The changing face of the tattoo industry extends beyond the clientele, with more females now part of the art trade.
This is a hard job, This stresses me out, I have limited social life because of all the work I have to do, because I'm constantly trying to improve, constantly trying to draw. It's a pretty high-stress job, There's no room for error. You've really got to be a perfectionist with what you do, because someone's going to be wearing that for life.
With employers becoming more discerning as to who they take on, many would-be artists now find tertiary-type qualifications are becoming the norm.
I think I started with a grapefruit, and I did a couple of Chinese symbols on there, and
How did it
I
go?
tried a pumpkin. That didn't work too well, but a grapefruit wasn't too bad.
Tattooing has always been a part of Chantel Wilkinson's life. Her father, Noel, has been in the trade for almost 30 years. She's worked alongside him as a tattoo artist since she was a teenager.
I mean, when I was younger, of course, we all had our little tips, but other than that, we get along really, really well, and I couldn't have asked for a better job or a better place to work.
Amid the changes, one constant that remains in the industry is its characters.
Believe it or not, I actually, back then, really was concerned about what my mum thought. And so I got it on the hip so I could hide it from my mum, and obviously that didn't last very long.
Lucky Diamond Rich is synonymous with this type of skin trade. As well as a world-recognised artist, he's the most tattooed person in the world and the current Guinness World Record holder since 2003. His body art is one 100% multi-layered piece. That's approximately 1,400 hours or almost 60 days in the tattoo seat.
I get to obsess about one particular thing, which is really good for me because I'm sure I suffer from ADD or something ever since I was a kid. So it's just good that I can kind of concentrate on one thing, you know, for a long time. So in a sense, it's quite therapeutic for me.
A largely self-regulated industry, tattoo shops are subject to health department inspections and the testing of equipment. But while people continue to choose to be a human canvas, it's important to make smart choices before entering into what can be a highly addictive hobby.
Consider what they want in their body for life and then choose the right artist for it.
Choice in the future. If this appeals to you today, will it appeal to you in 5, 10 years?